to get it rolling.
Paige Beckers all the way.
A tough shot to make.
Quick catch and shoot.
Oh, that was nasty. Big East basketball is sponsored by Jeep. There's only one, and it's time to chase that trophy. A couple of semifinals on this Sunday afternoon. A little Big East tournament style. Marquette Golden Eagles and the UConn Huskies meet for the third time this year. Your bracket looks like this. Both of these teams in the quarterfinals won in a really big fashion. UConn, maybe no surprise, the #1 seed, 84-38 was the quarterfinal score. And maybe more of a surprise, Marquette putting up 105 points against its rival DePaul to get to this point, and that's where we set. We are so happy for you to join us here on FS1, and it's always a pleasure to be joined by the former DePaul great Sarah Kustok. We've got Kim Adams with us here on the sideline, and let's start with the #1 seed, Sarah. When you talk UConn, of course, Paige Beckers automatically comes to mind. She's dealing with that knee injury and coming back. So in that quarterfinal game, she played 18 minutes, and that's the most that we've seen her in her return right now.
At first, it's a beautiful sight to see Paige Beckers back on the floor playing basketball, just her 4th game back here today. And I think it is just a part of the acclimation process. And we know that Beckers is beyond confident in her game, but it's about confidence in your body and the physical play that you can have. And we started to see that so much against the game in Georgetown. She doesn't rush herself. She plays at her own pace. She's letting the game come to her. And she is complemented by such a talented group of players that it's only the beginning of, I think, the trajectory of where we'll see Paige get back to.
We expect her to come off the bench again here today, and we flip the script now and talk about UConn's opponent, Marquette. We showed you they put up 105 points. In a game when you put up 105 points, you're probably going to have some career highs, and Liza Carlin had certainly that yesterday.
She was tremendous. There was top-to-bottom contributions from this lineup, but more than anything, it was Carlin setting the tone early. She started 8 of 8 from the field. She was perfect. She didn't miss until the 3rd quarter, but what you're able to see is the variety of ways that she was able to score. She ran the floor. She was able to square and face up back to the basket, and that 15 to 17-footer is something that has been deadly in how she's been able to attack a defense. Big-time performance and a big-time stage for the sophomore.
These two teams met each other last year in the conference tournament final. Now they square off to get to the final. It's Marquette and UConn, and Jonathan, the Huskies, ready. This is the first of 2 semifinals that we bring you here on FS1. It's the #5 seed against the #1 seed, Marquette and UConn from the Mohegan Sun Arena. Time for tonight's starting lineup, sponsored by Jeep. There's only one. You look at the veteran leadership that Marquette has in terms of McLaughlin, Van Clunen, and Murata playing against UConn for the final time in their careers. And as for UConn, we mentioned Paige Beckers will be coming off the bench, and it's the juggling of the starting lineups and rotations that has been something that Gino Auriemma has had to do, and that's where we find a 3rd member of our team, Kim Adams.
Thank you, Lisa. Well, yeah, this has been a season unlike any other for Gino Auriemma. He's had to use 10 different starting lineups. He said there have been seasons where I've never had to change my lineup throughout the course of a season, and of course, the good problem to have of fitting back in Paige Beckers. He told us she's expected to play about 20 minutes in these Big East tournament games. On the contrary, for Marquette,
it's just about making sure to knock down some of those shots early to settle yourself in.
There's Edwards on the trail, and it's an early lead here for UConn.
The soft 3-quarter court pressure slowed down Marquette, forced them to have to take some time getting into their offense, because we see how good the Huskies are in that ball denial.
They're a Marquette team that averages in the mid-60s, but again, they put up 105 points. They went outside in the first half in their quarterfinal win, and shots like that by Carissa McLaughlin were shots that fell in the quarterfinals. Marquette, not a team that shoots or makes a lot of 3-point shots, and Newell, ooh, that high arcing shot, that was a thing of beauty. A 7-0 start, and already Megan Duffy is forced to call the timeout.
Beautiful play by UConn on both ends of the floor. They're getting the job done on the defensive end, but offensively they have been on point, working the inside, stretching it out from the outside. Yeah, these Mohegan Sun fans like this early on. UConn up 7.
Good start here for the #1 seed, a 7-0 edge over Marquette, who started out 0 for 4 here to begin with. And this is nothing new here for UConn since they dropped their game to Villanova. That happened on February 9th. Look at the average margin of victory. 40 points since. I had to look at it twice.
We got an incredible truck, so I would never think that they would make a mistake. But when I first saw that, I was like, really? Is that? I mean, that is extraordinary.
Our producer, Keon Dolashahi, I had to ask him 3 times, is that right? Megan Duffy knows everything about UConn and the starts that they can have, the domination that they can have. And the one thing she said to us, we got to figure out how we got to score against this defense. They start out 0 for 4 to begin with. And that's going to be one official.
Yeah, I think it hit the body of
They're trying
Edwards,
to sort it out. Yeah, it'll be Marquette basketball.
Well, in terms of score, I mean, the challenging part is that you had already brought this up, Lisa. Marquette doesn't take a lot of threes. They don't make a lot of threes. Carissa McLaughlin is the one that hits about 75% of their three-point looks.
It's a long 2 for Van Clunen. She's gotten some open looks. Hasn't been able to knock them down here early.
With the size of the Huskies, they can pack it inside. And for a Marquette team that wants to pound it in the paint, that's where it becomes difficult. So you need to figure out how you're going to rotate and shift them, not allow them just to sit and play in front.
Hand off that time to Kristen Williams, but an offensive foul call that time. And it goes against Nelson Adota. That'll be her first. It's a second team foul here in the quarter. Still looking for their first points, and again an 0 for 5. You see there an 0 for 5 shooting start for the Golden Eagles. Harlan turns and faces, coming off that career high 26 as we talked about in the quarters. King, that's a 2. Her foot was on the line from straightaway.
Excellent midfield, and you like the aggressiveness of that because it's going to be interesting to see how much UConn switches, and there was a little bit of hesitation there between Fudd and Edwards, what was going on, which created that space.
Oopsie, that went off the hands there of AZ Fudd. Lost a little bit of the concentration. I think she was thinking about what she wanted to do after she caught the basketball. Oopsie. Yeah, I was reading the thought bubble out of AZ's head.
I'll start using that.
Here's Jordan King, gives it up to Carlin. Those two had career highs in the quarterfinal against DePaul. And an isolation look that time for Van Clunen, and she's still over. Kicks it over to the other side. Nelson Adota with the handoff. There's that change of speed for Williams, and an and one chance. Slithered her way in for 2, and she's got a free throw coming up.
Just a tough shot, and off the handoff. Williams does such a good job of using her body, cutting through. I mean, she almost does that like a running back, cutting through 2 defenders, able to still finish through contact. And that's where, for Marquette defensively, trying to stop UConn, it's always a challenge, but with the amount of weapons they have on the floor, they just balance it really well, and they use Edwards, Nelson Adota to initiate their offense through.
Yeah, got the offensive rebound there on that missed free throw, and that time it went through the hands of Edwards. Pressure keeps coming from Gino and the Huskies. Interesting enough that UConn has started out with the 4 turnovers, has the +7 advantage, and there is McLaughlin with her first points.
Nice job putting it on the floor. UConn will want to do that, make her have to put it on the deck and dribble and not just allow her to take some 3-point looks, and she does a good job creating the intermediate game.
She is the best 3-point shooter coming out of Purdue history. Decided to play her final year of college basketball in Milwaukee for Megan Duffy and the Marquette Golden Eagles. So there's the deep look, and it's short that time for their 3-point specialist. Back backdoor look. It was a give and go, and there goes Williams.
There you go again. Nelson Adota. Her ability to pass the high-low looks and just leading her teammate. I mean, Williams got that on the catch. Murata was with her, but it was that quickness of a step and the ability to lead with the pass.
Nelson Adota didn't play in that first meeting, as we mentioned, but in that second meeting against Marquette, she had 6 assists back on February 23rd. There's the pull-up from mid-range. That one popping out for King. And again, all this happening with UConn. We have yet to see Paige Beckers yet, with 4.5 here to play in the quarter, midway through.
A little scary thought,
isn't it? What you can bring off the bench, the National Player of the Year from last year. There's a reverse for Williams and a really good start. She's got 8 points.
Aggressive. Straight line drives, getting downhill.
Hasn't missed a shot, a perfect 4 for 4. Meanwhile, again, Van Clunen still hunting down. 0 for 5 start for the 5th-year player all the way. Someone forgot about Nika Mule. And remember, Megan Duffy used that early timeout in the first couple of minutes, about 2 minutes into this quarter. And that's one thing you got to manage, right? When you play UConn, is when do you try to stem the tide a little bit? $12-0 advantage for UConn. Points in the paint. King is short.
But just think about the fact of how much Marquette wants to get in the paint, how much they typically try to pound it in the block, and there was just no room with the size of UConn.
Got a foul on the post entry.
Livia Nelson Adota dropping some dimes. Look at that lead, quickness in the finish with the back cut by Williams, and this time Williams just keeps it herself, gets to the other side. Nika Mule getting in on the action as well. Nobody picks up the ball. Clean look, and now an unwelcome sight for Marquette to see coming in the game, but great to see. Again, we talked about this in the open. Paige Beckers just back playing basketball.
It's in that offering. Yeah, just you saw it. It's 16 points in the 18 minutes. As we mentioned, the 18 minutes is the most that she's played in her return since coming back off that knee injury, an injury where she had to have surgery in mid-December. That's a 2 for King. The second bucket for Jordan King, one of the juniors here on this roster. She's got 2 of the 3 buckets to begin with here for Marquette. There's an offensive rebound and put back that time for Edwards.
And that's tough, and that's what Edwards does. She's aggressive, she'll pursue the glass, but for Marquette, you gotta find a body because you force a tough miss for Fudd.
Blocked that time by Fudd. Danielle Middleton will check in here for Marquette. Fudd will check out.
Nice defensive play.
Caroline Ducharme will now check in off the bench. She started 11 times here this year. With Paige Beckers slowly making her way, it's Ducharme. Might see some of her minutes, as well as a couple of other players, adjusted a little bit with some of these new rotations.
And that's the balance, how you can still be as productive in more limited time.
There's the bump from Middleton. She's had a cup of coffee in this game already, but picks up her first personal. What did Gino tell us in the pregame? Sometimes there's players that can play 10 minutes and can be really, really efficient, and then there's some players who it takes them 20 minutes sometimes to get warmed up. Dorka Juhas has also checked in for the first time. She's off the mark, and another offensive look and an offensive rebound. Ravina Westbrook. Beckers kicks it out. Juhas will get another chance at it, and she makes good on it.
And you'd be willing to concede a shot like that if you're looking at the shots you're going to give up based on personal on the floor, and Juhas makes Marquette pay. Paige Beckers with the assists, and you kind of looking good early here, up 14, end of the first.
20-6 advantage here for the UConn Huskies, the #1 seed over the #5 seeds. Sarah Kustok, Lisa Byington, and Kim Adams with you on the sideline. Now you look at Kristen Williams, and what a start that she's had. 8 of the first 20 points here for UConn. It's the first semifinal here on FS1. have Seton Hall and Villanova following this one. One and done again for Marquette.
And what you're seeing, Marquette was exceptional yesterday against DePaul and how they generated offense, but there is a quickness in the closeout here from UConn that is just at a different pace.
Up this time to Westbrook. Kumru brings it up. She's seen her first few minutes of playing time in this semifinal. And Carlin so far has been scoreless. Mentioned it, Cheryl. She started out in the quarters 8 for 8. Missed until the third quarter, but this is what his UConn defense can do to you. Passing lane there, Van Clunen, but Uhas gets it right back. Beckers, a little too much heat. Trying to find Williams.
And those are some of the areas overall, Marquette, their ability to get stops, get some runouts, some early offense. Don't allow UConn to get back and set up in the half court there. You see a little bit high and too much heat on that for Williams.
McLaughlin, they gave her some space, too strong. King chases it down. Inside a minute now here in this first quarter. The Kumru.
Nice quality look. And at this point, that's all you need to focus on is continuing to generate some clean quality looks. Use it with your ball movement, body movement if you're Marquette.
There's Ducharme. She was calling for it on the post. She liked that matchup, and she gets her first two. Six to play in the quarter. McLaughlin will fire with 2 left in the quarter. That one popping out. And that's been the kind of luck offensively here for Marquette.
Been a whole lot of UConn here in this first quarter. Everyone getting in on the action from the lineup. Some beautiful passing, big-time shot-making, defensive plays. Huskies got it rolling.
Oh, good first quarter for Husky fans that have really filled this place, Mohegan Sun. In the semifinals of the Big East tournament, Kristen Williams has really found the bucket in the first quarter once again.
Assertive in getting to the basket. You see it right here, how she's got some just nice movement, straight line drives, doing cutting off ball actions that's allowed her to get to the basket, finish it through contact. It's been an impressive showing, similar to what we saw out of her yesterday and how she set the tone early. And she's such an important key piece to this team and how they function and how they operate. And it all starts with her mentality in particular on the offensive side.
Just how good was her first quarter and how much did Marquette struggle? How about this? Kristen Williams all herself outscored and outshot the Golden Eagles in that first 10 minutes. And remember, she had the 13 points in the first quarter of the quarterfinals yesterday. 13 of her 15 against Georgetown coming in the opening 10 minutes. Marquette, meanwhile, no points in the last 3:10 of the quarter. Ducharme off to the right side. And on the transition, that's King. That's not necessarily her strength. And off the mark that time on that transition 3 look.
She was one player that was hitting some deeper shots here earlier in that first quarter.
And the bucket there for Westbrook.
And sometimes with UConn, if you get a sliver of airspace, if you feel like you have a clean look, you got to make sure to take it because those opportunities don't often come with the way they move and shift on the defensive side.
Those slivers of airspace happen?
I don't know. It doesn't feel that way. We're a couple feet off the court, and I feel a little suffocated by this defensive pressure.
There's 8 seconds on the shot clock. Van Clunen turned and fired. Yeah, she's 0 for 6. Beckers with the kick out, and they work it around. To find that shot, and Westbrook, another and one.
tough play, and that is one of the hardest things to do defensively, is close out on a player that can both knock down the three and get to the basket. Jordan King tries to do that, and Avina Westbrook has patience and then accelerates off that first step. Look at that, gets the finish, blows right by, and one. And this is where it's going to be fascinating to continue watching UConn. Lisa, I know we talked about a little bit just about now that the team is finally healthy. You got all the pieces, looking at the rotations, how Gino looks to work that and how these players start to understand the consistency of a role, what's expected of them. And it changes. Every game is different, but that type of continuity of having an idea what combinations work best, when you're going to get in, what the lineups look like, that is all a part of it for a team that ultimately, as always, has aspirations of winning a title.
Yeah, to your point, Westbrook is a player that has started 15 times this year. We mentioned Ducharme, who's coming off the bench here today, and she started 11 times this season. Kim Adams was eavesdropping on the latest Marquette huddle. What'd you hear?
Yes, Lisa. Well, it was Jordan King, the junior, very vocal to start in that huddle, telling them we need to reset our mindset. We need to turn things up on the defensive end. And then Coach Duffy saying we are getting a lot of good shots. You guys need to settle in and be confident. She likes the two-woman game. And then on the defensive end, she says we need to match up earlier and make sure we are going over the top of screens and not right into them, and reminding them also grind through this win when it's ugly, unlike last night's game.
The 2 seconds on the shot clock, and Marquette now will have to put all that knowledge to use with just 2 seconds to work with on this possession.
That's great stuff, and they have created some nice looks. It's just about type of confidence against this team as they're challenging them.
Blocked that time by Beckers. And it's Carlin and Van Clunen that are still 0 for 9 between those two players. Not there for Beckers. That's her first shot. Carlin, that's a free throw. Oh, Kristen Williams is hunting buckets this afternoon.
Spacing on the floor creates so many avenues to cut. And what a beautiful pass. Kristen Williams, though, that is a tough shot. She's seeing bodies. There's traffic behind her, which is an excellent job there of reading where the defense was playing. Nakuma tries to cut behind because she's continuing to follow her, and Williams just makes a quick read. Nice open look. And that's where UConn, for as much as we can talk about the skill sets, the talent, the physical presence they have, these are smart basketball players that do such a good job off the reads.
You can see Marquette, we've got 16 seconds on the shot clock, and they throw it away with the turnovers. And it takes them a while to just get into their offensive flow in the half court. And you compare the quarterfinals and what these individual players did against DePaul yesterday. It's a much different story here today against UConn.
It's a much different looking defense, one. But two, I think just the opportunity to see shots go through early, you don't start pressing. And the last thing you want to do if you're Marquette is to start pressing on your shots.
Juhas knocks down her second three-point make. Shooting 29% from three-point territory this year. She's got 2 of the first three-point makes for UConn here today. She has been capable of knocking down that shot at Ohio State before transferring here to UConn, where she comes off the bench, versus Ohio State, where she was a starter. Here's McLaughlin, finger roll, flips it up, not there. I mean, looks at the basket, three-point looks, nothing is dropping here for Marquette. Juhas passed up that three-point shot to give it over to Fudd. On the deck, it's another look. Second chance opportunity. Williams had a good look at it. That was her first three-point attempt. Carlin's first points.
There you go. And sometimes, Lisa, that's all it takes. See one go through, settle in a little bit. Don't worry so much about the score at this point. Is just going on a possession-by-possession basis. How are you getting stops, making sure to clean the glass, take care and finish off a defensive possession, and move on from there.
AZ Fudd from the wing. And Carlin gets the rebound. Approaching the midway point here of this second quarter. The third meeting between these two teams. Carlin, not there. Van Clunen tips it to herself and runs right into a couple of UConn defenders. Uhas has found the distance shot here today.
Scoring everywhere. Uhas from deep and benches in on it. There is really a great connectivity and chemistry with this group, and you see it. And for as much as we're talking about the balance of minutes and players being in and out, it's not about the selfishness of being on the floor. It's just more about levels of comfort, because you can tell how much that there is a singular purpose with this group about winning, and whatever roles they need to play, they will.
It's a championship mindset as Walker knocks it down. Now, Antoinette Walker is a player that just came off the bench, but she hit her first shot coming off the bench. That might earn her a little bit more playing time in a game like this. And Mule with the reverse.
And that's a similar situation of what we saw with Mule in transition. There's so much focus on everyone else staying with your own that Mule's had some open lanes to the basket.
She's the second leading scorer here for UConn. Hasn't missed a shot. There is the three-point make from McLaughlin. She's got a few looks here today. 1 for 5 now from three-point territory after that make. And we will take a timeout. Nika Mule is not just a defensive player, Sarah Kustak.
Oh, look at her. Wide open lane, showing off the handles. Oh, a little sauce on that to finish.
This Wednesday, the Big East tournament tips off on Fox and FS1. Who will rise up and take the crown at the world's most famous arena? Catch all the action starting Wednesday on Fox, FS1, and the Fox Sports app. You're at the semifinal stage here of the Women's Big East tournament, and a 35-13 edge here for UConn, shooting about 58% from the field here to begin with. It's basically Megan Duffy's worst nightmare, and anyone who takes on UConn to have the combination of the hot offensive start and then the lockdown defense to begin with.
Yeah, and I think sometimes the way you start in setting the tone against UConn changes your mentality, and that's the one thing that you got to try and mitigate. Make sure that you're still coming in same confidence. We saw that, I know, two different teams, but when we spoke with Coach Duffy before the game, the confidence she saw out of her group against DePaul and just how well they were able to attack on the offensive end, and you want to maintain that, build on that, despite the way the score looks right now.
Van Clunen still 0 for 7 now after that shot. Two-player game there between Nelson Adota and Williams. He's looking for that back door. Fudd receives it and turns into a triple team of defenders. That's a 2 there for Nelson Adota. She kind of straddled that three-point line. She backed up a little bit. Maybe she could have had her 4th three-point make of the year.
Yeah, bigs that are knocking down deep shots like that.
You know things are going right.
That's where the challenge comes in, and that's even where, when they run the offense through Nelson Adota, off the top of the key, when you start having to respect a shot from out there and also worry about how she's going to pass, how others are going to come off of her, there was just a lot of problem solving to do on the defensive side.
That's a triple try. Well, I'll tell you what, Walker has been an offensive spark off the bench for Marquette.
I mean, she didn't play that much in the DePaul game, 11 minutes, but 3 of 6 from the field. She looked confidence in that game, and she's got a quick first step. If she can get downhill and also hit some of those mid-range shots, they could use any knockdown shooting they can get.
Yeah, exactly. She's hit both of her shots here to begin with for the 5 points. That's tied for the lead with McLaughlin on the Marquette side, and another bucket for Edwards.
Quickness of the passing and the decision-making by UConn makes it so tough. And the help with Walker late getting over, because also she's worried about Westbrook in the corner and a three-point shooter.
McLaughlin from about 17 feet out, and she's got 7 to lead the Marquette side. Tough there on Edwards. Minute and a half left to play here before the half. Arata off the back heel. Van Clunen gives him another chance. She's got 4 rebounds. Well off the mark that time from Arata. And some time to play with. Paige Beckers, by the way, has been just sitting at the scorer's table waiting to check back in, but we haven't had a whistle or a dead ball.
She looks a little frustrated. I don't know at this point, given the score, if Coach Auriemma minds that she's getting a little more of a break.
She's played 6 minutes so far in this game. Given that shot to Nelson Adota. Gino had told us that they're going to try to continue to keep it 20 minutes or fewer here again today.
Well, because it's not just about the games or singularly the games, but the concept of potentially 3 back-to-back-to-back games. And so you want to make sure you're mindful of that as she makes her return.
Carlin with just the 2 points. 1 for 8 shooting. Boy, some of their scorers and their shooters just have really struggled here in this first half. Van Clunen is a double-figure scorer. Carlin is a double-figure scorer. They've combined 2 points here in this first half. Final few seconds, it's Nelson Adota turning the corner, and an offensive foul call with 1.2 left to play here in the half. And when we get to our halftime report coming up for our Jeep halftime report, it's John Fanta and Kim Adams break down.
The crew!
Should I say that again? It's half-court heave. It's John Fanta.
You got to finish reading this,
Okay,
girl.
John Fanta and Kim Adams break down the first half of the game. Plus, you get caught up on a busy weekend of college hoops around the country. Now you'll let me finish the promo.
Well, I think you got something else to get to, something maybe a little more important.
Speaking of Kim Adams, waiting on Gino, who's getting last-minute instructions from Chris Daly. We head over to Kim.
Thank you, Lisa. Coach, amidst all the change you've had this season, when your senior Kristen Williams is being as aggressive as she is, what does she bring to your group?
Well, that's Kristen's game, you know, trying to get to the basket. You know, she's so strong and she's so powerful getting to the rim that, you know, once she gets in there, you got to foul her, you got to let her go. And she's gotten us off 2 nights in a row now, you know, to a great start. But I thought everybody that played, you know, played really well. Our defense has been, you know, pretty darn good, and we can do that again in the second half. I'll be happy.
All right, Coach. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.
All right, Lisa.
Thank you, Kim. It's a halftime here at Mohegan Sun. Our score is 39-18. After the break, we'll send it to John Fanta and Kim Adams for the Jeep halftime report.
Bro!
Welcome to the Jeep Halftime Report, sponsored by Jeep. There's only one. The Connecticut Huskies showing why they have been the champions of the Big East tournament 19 times. Kristen Williams charging them with 11 points as the Huskies lead Marquette by 21 in the semis. Welcome courtside, everybody, for the Halftime Report. I am John Fanta. She is Kim Adams. Well, UConn rolling, outscoring Marquette 24-0 in the paint in the opening 20 minutes. It was Kristen Williams, though, who continues to look like the senior star she is.
Absolutely. First, I have to compliment you on this fit. I mean, you brought the heat, but so too did Kristen Williams. I thought her aggressive tone really got her teammates involved. There's been so much change to this group over the season, but she has been the constant. And I think she is realizing she needs to have a big game for her team to feel comfortable around her, and everything was on the attack, finishing right and left, both sides. Already 11 points for Williams at the half.
Those are the Jeep halftime highlights, sponsored by Jeep. There's only one. Let's turn to this Marquette team, Kim, getting off to a slow start. If you're Megan Duffy, their head coach, what are you telling them in the locker room?
Well, I was surprised that Gino actually thought his defense was good, because he normally doesn't give out compliments to his team like that. But I think Marquette can space the floor a little bit more, move the ball. They're not a great shooting team from deep. So I think they're going to have to find a way to get the UConn defense spread out a little bit to open up some things on the interior and off the dribble.
See if that can happen in the final 20 minutes. Our semifinal opener here in the Big East tournament. Coming up on the other side, we go around the country with highlights across women's basketball. Welcome back to Mohegan Sun Arena. Jeep halftime report rolls on here on FS1. Big East women's basketball tournament semifinal action. UConn up right now, and coming up after the Huskies and Golden Eagles, we have an intriguing 2-6 matchup. Maddie Siegrist leading Villanova. So Wildcats are looking for their first championship game appearance since 2003. They'll take on upset-minded Seton Hall. Let's go around the country. Caitlin Clark keeps on leading Iowa, Kim.
Yeah, we're used to seeing this. I mean, that was not even that deep for her. We know her range is much more extended than that, and she can play defense too. Caitlin Clark on the steal all the way. Iowa moving on to the Big Ten championship. They will take on Indiana, a team that they beat twice just about a week ago.
For the ACC championship, Miami's been the Cinderella, but today they met NC State.
Yeah, Alyssa Cunane just way too tough. That was an end one inside, up 18 here in the fourth. Diamond Johnson, the Wolfpack win their third straight ACC championship. Gotta love the balloon celebration.
Another 17 reaching the final, that being Kentucky taking on the Standard, South Carolina.
Yeah, that is Zaya Cook. This one still going on. South Carolina up 8. Aaliyah Boston showing she's not just an interior presence, going coast to coast on that one. That one still in the fourth quarter.
Gamecocks up by 7. So, a week away from Selection Sunday, what are your overall takeaways with the state and the sport?
Well, just from a couple of those highlights, NC State, South Carolina projected 1 seed. It looks like they're handling business. The team behind us, UConn, a lot of talk about them moving up. They were originally a 3 seed. Now some people are saying a 2. Where will they be? So still a lot to figure out, but the teams at the top are holding steady right now.
The Huskies up by 21 here at the break. On the other side, we'll kick it back to Lisa Byington and Sarah Kustok with the second half.
More minutes here for UConn or Marquette to punch their ticket into the Big East Tournament Championship at a 21-point advantage for the #1 seed after the first half. Sarah Kustok, Lisa Byington, Kim Adams is with us on the sideline, and UConn just a very professional way of going about things here in the first half, offensively and defensively.
Because there's been a whole lot of balance, and the contributions have come from everyone, but they've done it in a very systematic way, and that way has been attacking the paint and getting it on the inside. Such a major factor of how they've been playing and pulling out the variety of pack of who's been doing it. Kristen Williams started early. Her assertiveness to get to the basket continued to open things up. Nika Mule was in on the action, doing it in the half court. Also with that early offense and transition defense. Caroline Ducharme has been really good just with her ability to play with her back to the basket. Avina Westbrook add it on. They have been layering it thick in their ability to get through traffic, find those lanes, and be highly efficient in where they're scoring from.
The first half stats are sponsored by Jeep. There's only one, and we highlight the points in the paint. Marquette has been shut out, which is extremely different than yesterday in the quarters against DePaul. They've got 60 points in the paint against the Blue Demons.
coming into this one, Megan Duffy talked to us before the game, and she said one of the biggest concerns is just the brute strength, the size, the physicality that UConn brings to the table, and so much of that has been why they've been able to pack it on the inside. And so if you're Marquette and you're not knocking down some of those outside shots early to loosen up the defense, force them to come out at you, they've been able to continue to clog up a lot of those lanes. And so for Marquette, same type of patience, same type of composure. We saw a lot of confidence out of them yesterday, but it's settling in and continuing to rotate the defense, because if you allow UConn just to sit in front of you, it's going to continue to be very, very challenging.
And when you're trailing by 21, Sarah, it's got to be baby steps, right? You can't try to get the lead all the way back, and they did have a more efficient, if you will, offensive quarter in the second quarter versus the first, and that's a great sign. Van Clunen has her first points after an 0-for-7 start.
Good way to get it started. And again, the movement in finding some of those open spots on the floor, to your point, second quarter, 17-12 UConn, so much more manageable if you start to look at things in smaller fragments.
Same starting lineups here for both of these teams to open up the second half. There's Fudd with a look. And Fudd still scoreless. We got a foul. They'll take it out on the baseline. We'll check in with Kim Adams, who had a conversation with Megan Duffy at the half.
Yeah, Coach Duffy mentioning that discrepancy with points in the paint, and thinking a lot of that is because they are a step or two slow on UConn's movements, UConn's cutting, just too slow to react. A player she would love to see get going here, Jordan King, and specifically Jordan King helping to get Lauren Van Clunen some touches, whether inside or out, Lisa.
We saw the first touch for Van Clunen on one of the opening possessions here to begin the second half. There is the King to Van Clunen combo. She'll take a dribble and pull up, and now she saw the ball go through the basket and now has a couple of buckets.
Start to feel good, get some confidence, and what you're seeing is Aaliyah Edwards sagging off. So she doesn't think that Van Clunen's necessarily taking some of those outside looks. What does Van Clunen do? Take a couple dribbles in, good shot.
Mid-range, and it's Fudd's first bucket. She had an 0-for-6 start.
Speaking of someone you don't want to see the ball go through, she was a little off what we normally see in her accuracy yesterday, early on in this one, but man, she can heat up in a hurry.
Van Clunen, that's a three, and all of a sudden she had been shut out in the first half, and she's got a quick 7 points to open up the second. Here is Fudd. One of the reasons is she pulls up from 15 out. One of the reasons that UConn was able to defeat Marquette in that first meeting. Nelson Adoda gets the follow. And on the push, Marana, little fast break points here for the Golden Eagles.
Excellent run. And that was off of a make, which isn't easy. You catch UConn back on their heels, but that's another thing just in regards to making shots for Marquette. It allows them to get back and set up in their half-court defense.
On the shot clock, over to Edwards. Good box out that time from Carlin. Ryder takes a peek inside. Here's another post touch for Van Clunen. She leans in and leaned in just a little bit too much, and she's called for the offensive foul.
Van Clunen working on the inside off that possession, but she was knocking it from deep, and nice job off the double of finding Van Clunen. Edwards a little late on the contest, so she gets the make. And then this is a great play. Nelson Adoda coming up with this second chance opportunity, but Marquette on the run and the push early, able to get a bucket at the other end just based on looking to run. And UConn's not a team you can run against very easily, especially with how good they are in transition.
Williams off the mark. Yeah, Marquette has 4 fast break points here today. And a reach-in foul that time on UConn. And Nika Mule has picked up her second. 72-58 was the score in the first meeting in Milwaukee back on February 13th. 69-38, UConn got that one on February 23rd.
And considering the way things got started here, for Marquette to be sitting here 16-point deficit, I know that seems like a lot, but that goes back to the concept of continuing to just chip away. There's a lot of time left in this game.
UConn's defense makes it tough, but there were several times, I think, in the first half where Marquette had some looks.
Yeah, they did.
And they didn't knock him down. Van Clunen, that's a nice catch. Can't get the finish.
Take a little beat there, almost collect it better. There's no reason to force it. You got some size on foot on the inside if you just catch it and come down.
That's a really long two there for Nelson Adota, showing her capability. She's only got inches where she can back up, and it's worth another point. And Carlin at the tough angle. And that's something, Sarah, to your point. We saw Van Clunen try to throw it up after the catch. Carlin there on that possession. Sometimes you hear the footsteps, right,
yeah,
of the UConn defense everywhere.
You said it, and we see it all over the floor of just they speed you up and they try to rush you. So there's even situations, you probably go back and talk to some of these players of, wait, you're saying I had a clean look? You're saying I had a quality look? There's something coming at me, coming from different sides. They do such a good job of where their help comes from, and that's why even when people are not around, it is that concept. You just continue to get rushed.
They find Fudd, and she'll find the free throw line with a couple of opportunities here coming up. Paige Beckers has now checked in. She played 6 minutes there in the first half. Only took the one shot. You know, Gino Auriemma and Paige Beckers, and he's had a unique relationship with a lot of his All-Americans and a lot of his stars, but he has said recently to the media that Paige Beckers, there's one Paige Beckers that doesn't necessarily initiate the offense for herself, and then there's another. He says, find the other Paige Beckers when that Paige Beckers is showing up, and she's not looking for her shot and not trying to maybe facilitate as well.
We've seen throughout the course of her young career, though, that when she needs to score, when she needs to close out a game, when UConn needs a dagger, she is a killer. And I think there is just such a completeness to her game. So much of what she does is that pass-first mentality. And in particular now, as she's come back, we said this earlier, fourth game back from the injury. To me, I just want to continue to see her get comfortable with her body, confidence in her movements. It's not about points, it's not about minutes. It's about just her feeling like she continues to get back to some of the quickness and the ways in which she can shift, and not just straight line stuff, but moving laterally, all of those capabilities that make her so special.
Coming off surgery. And never easy to come off injury, but let alone when an injury requires surgery, which she had in mid-December. But she played 13 minutes in her return against St. John's. She just missed the second meeting against this Marquette team, played a couple of days later. But she's still trying to hunt down her first points. Unlike her team, has a solid 47 here to begin with, midway through the third quarter. It's a 20-point advantage in our first semifinal. In our second semifinal, you see Seton Hall has arrived in the building, and the Pirates, Lauren Park Lane is quite the player, and they will take on Villanova, the #2 seed. And you see the bracket here. After this semifinal is complete, 5:30 Eastern, there'll be a tip between Villanova and Seton Hall. Nova winning comfortably, if you will, in double figures for their quarterfinal game. And the best game of the quarterfinals was that last one of the day. Creighton and Seton Hall came down to a final shot.
It was an extraordinary game, tightly contested, and I'm excited about Villanova-Seton Hall. This is going to be a good one, and you got two of the hottest teams in the Big East playing. I mean, Villanova comes into this one winning 14 of their last 15. Seton Hall won 11 of their last 12. And the only loss for Villanova during that stretch was to Seton Hall. So this is going to be a really interesting matchup that we have got coming up.
And if you, two of the more dynamic players too, Lauren Park Lane, we saw her sitting in the crowd, and of course you have the player of the year, Maddie Siegrist. That one will immediately follow this one. As things dramatically change, it looks like UConn's going to find itself back in the championship game. Place that they've been in every conference tournament, get this, since 1993, no matter what conference tournament they've played in.
Unbelievable. It really is.
Edwards. Juhas, who's got a couple of those three-point makes for her only points here in the first half, thought about it. She gives it up. 10 seconds now to shoot. Edwards with the up fake. And took it a little bit too deep, and she's whistled for the foul. It's her second.
Lauren Van Clunen sitting on that the entire time. And that is not an easy thing to do, to make sure you step outside the circle, stay square, embrace the contact of Edwards coming through. There's a very great read off that defensive possession for LVK.
This is something Marquette, McLaughlin, they've seen a little bit of that token pressure. Chewing some seconds off of the shot clock. And Marquette looking to get into its offense. Tipped away. Another turnover here by the Golden Eagles.
And that's just an example when you start to look at the lineup of UConn and different players, what they bring to the table. I mean, just the idea that Dorka Juhas can be guarding Jordan King, stay in front, force a turnover off that, but how she moves her feet, the understanding of timing. I mean, there is a versatility that UConn can play with that is just very, very special.
Well, she's listed at 6'5" and posting up there. And we got, I think, too much of an arm bar, if you will, on the post up by Murata. That's her third personal. And so to catch you up on the foul situation here for Marquette, Murata has picked up her third to go along with Carlin's three.
Yeah, and you see the wrap, and then, yeah, the reaction. That was the wrap and the reaction. What do you want me to do?
Did you ever accept a foul when the foul was called on you?
Occasionally. I didn't talk to the officials that much. And it wasn't that I necessarily always thought it was a foul, but I wasn't one unless I vehemently disagreed that I would say anything.
Ooh, Westbrook, UConn fans don't vehemently disagree with that shot. And a hefty dose of UConn fans in this building. Mohegan Sun, again, the site of the Big East tournament. Last year, fans weren't allowed in the tournament, so a much different atmosphere at this facility. Westbrook, how about from the other side? Quick 6 points.
Oh, she's holding those follow-throughs.
And staring down the crowd,
Give it to me on the right, give it to me on the left. Westbrook and this UConn team has been feeling it. They are on point, putting up some big numbers here at Mohegan Sun. Clean looking shot. Yep, bottoms. There you go. Give it a stare, Avina.
Big East basketball is sponsored by Jeep. There's only one. And we have another tournament domination here so far between the #1 seed UConn Huskies, a 55-27 advantage. Sarah Kustok, Lisa Byington, Kim Adams with us on the sideline. You talk about domination, the most tournament titles in Big East women's basketball history, 19, and maybe that milestone number 20 coming this year. Two and a half left to play here in the quarter. South of Middleton. King with the triple try, right? As the shot clock, that's going to be a long two that they're calling there on the court. Straight away, just as the shot clock was expiring.
He'll take it. And it's a clean looking shot. Nice movement for Marquette.
Beckers gets the pass, and she's inside, and she's got her first two. But just inside, 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
Beckers has got such a fluidity to her game, how she moves, the way she gets a shot off. See it the same with her passing.
Pump fake, one dribble. There for Carissa McLaughlin. Just Becker's second shot, by the way. That's one of the ways that she can contribute, but Carissa McLaughlin read it all the way. normally does a Paige Beckers pass get intercepted. Jordan King looking for her shot. You heard Kim Adams report that Megan Duffy was encouraging her to get more involved here in the second half, and we've seen her try to look for her shot. Nelson Adota trying to chase it down.
Marquette's done a nice job in trying to take away some of those lead passes for UConn around the basket.
Trying to lead the pass to Ducharme, who chases it and finds Juhas. Beautifully done. Juhas on the trail for two.
That's a special vision. Good trail by Juhas, but my goodness, Ducharme. She's looking the other way. She's chasing the ball down, and just her awareness of where the trail is coming off a transition.
A couple of players we've talked about trying to figure out your rotation and your role and the way to contribute. These are two players who are working together well with this rotation. McLaughlin, it looks so pretty when that goes through the net. Marissa McLaughlin had talked about, she played UConn one time in her career at Purdue, and without even knowing that the question was coming, she knew exactly what she shot against UConn. She immediately said 1 for 11.
I guarantee you if she was 7 of 12, she probably wouldn't remember, but when you have those rough nights,
you're probably right. That's a great point.
It sticks with you.
.27 advantage. Largest lead has been 30. Carlin challenging Nelson Adota on that, and 3 quarters are complete. Sarah Kustok.
Paige Beckers getting in on the action, and with her first bucket of the game here in this third quarter. Nice screen by Nelson Adota, and watch this move. Ooh, silky smooth. Right in the gut of the defense, and then on the other side. Look at this hustle by Ducharme, and then the vision. Juhas with the finish. UConn up big.
We've talked about the UConn Huskies. They just haven't been whole really throughout the whole year. The first 6 games, they had a full roster. 10 different starting lineups you see there, but the 19 games missed by the National Player of the Year from last year, Paige Beckers, and a couple of games from Juhas. 11 games for the freshman, AZ Fudd. Aubrey Griffin has already been ruled out here for the season. So, you know, it's one thing that Gino, and we talked about it in the first half, where he has talked about trying to find rhythm and rotations and trying to do it in a game format here in the tournament, and then trying to do that with the space between the conference tournament and the NCAA tournament next week. Middleton with the takeaway. And looking for her own bucket.
The interesting part about that is normally you have a long runway, you have some consistency in figuring out what works against different teams, different opponents, and it's easier said than done when you look at the 10 days or whatnot in between the end of the conference tournament, start of the NCAA tournament, but practice time can be very different than playing against a live opponent. And I also think, too, just no matter how talented you are or what players look like, just the consistency of knowing when I'm coming in, what my role looks like, what responsibilities are, how you fit in with different lineups and different combinations, and some things that take a little bit of time.
Beckers is short. Let's check in with Kim Adams.
Thanks, Lisa. Well, you ladies talking about all the changes that UConn has had this season, and someone who's having a great game today, Dorka Juhas on the bench right now. It wasn't the smoothest transition for her over from Ohio State. She struggled in the first couple of games, and she went into Gino's office to talk about how she could get better, and Gino said, well, where do you like to get the ball? And he told her to go to those spots where she feels comfortable. And he said he loves that Dorka is somewhat of a combination of Aaliyah Edwards and Olivia Nelson Adota in terms of having that physicality, but also being able to spread the floor. And we've seen her knock down a couple threes, something that she did at a pretty high rate at Ohio State, Lisa.
Yeah, I mean, she certainly had the opportunities. You know, she's a career 30% three-point shooter, but Kevin McGuff in Columbus would give his bigs in the offense that they run some opportunities. And I love that Kim's story that it wasn't Gino calling Dorka into his office. It was Dorka initiating that visit to Gino's office.
And that's really important. And even just that type of communication in figuring out how to be at your best. I mean, there's reasons why individuals succeed at a high level, and it's that type of initiation and just taking control of what you want your career to look like, how you want to contribute to a team.
We saw McLaughlin hit down or knock down her third three-point make here of this game, and we got a foul sort of away from the action. It looks like it might be on Nelson. No, Nelson Agoda was defending, and it's on Miles.
Kennedy Miles, yeah.
Kennedy Miles who's checked in. That'll be her first. Adoda again. Oh, a little extracurricular from Miles. That wasn't necessarily.
Yeah, you know what? There was a little extra with Miles at the other end when she was guarding Nelson Adoda. We saw it again there, and
so immediately exit this game.
Yeah, and you like an aggressiveness, a hustle, a physicality, but at some point too, you have to make sure to have a balance to that in keeping it clean, the type of aggression you're showing, still mindful of where the score's at and what's expected of you.
And, you know, once the whistle is blown, the play should be dead.
Yeah.
Eckers dumping it down to Edwards. And Sky's trying to get her miss. It's McLaughlin who picks it up. McLaughlin, that's a 2. And Beckers walked with it. Normally do we see a turnover from her. You talk about rotation and rhythm, and continuously it's Paige Beckers who's going to have to try to find that.
And I also am curious to see, you entirely understand the thought process of bringing her off the bench and in terms of limiting the minutes and everything like that. But for a player who spent their entire career starting a game and just how you go about, I mean, that's an adjustment in and of itself of how you go into warm-ups, what it's like coming into a game in terms of catching a rhythm just in general for Beckers too. And so by the time she's coming into a game, the score looks very different. I mean, you think about the lead UConn had. There's a lot of things that come into play that I've no doubt that when it matters and when Beckers is called upon, and as they continue on throughout the course of this Big East tournament and in the postseason, that we're going to continue to see her level of play rise back to what we're accustomed to.
Well, she's a player that hardly came out in her freshman year last year and averaged about 36 minutes per game, going high off the glass that time for King.
And think about how different that is then when you're playing 15, 20 minutes a game as opposed to you're on the floor all the time and you're just in that type of rhythm.
Beckers has the 2 points. As she's played 14 minutes and counting here in this one. Again, Gino told us it'd be about a 20-minute cutoff again. And Beckers has shot 4 times here so far in this game. She started against Providence in her return. She did not start today and didn't start in her first game back against St. John's as well as against Georgetown. And she'll take a little bit of a breather here. Not exactly the stat line that you're accustomed to seeing with her.
I think we can rest assured that the only stat she cares about is the 61-39, or what this ultimately may become in helping her team to get a win. But that's also sometimes the challenge of it. Just a tight game, or how you go about things with time and score, and how that just changes the approach a little bit.
Smooth stroke there for Van Clunen, playing in her final game against UConn. We'll have to see what Marquette wants to do for any postseason. Van Clunen decided to come back to play in this final season. Nice step through move there by Edwards.
And tough. I mean, your ball hits all points around the perimeter to create a great entry for that post pass.
And she gets wrapped up. That was fun, creating that. It'll stay here with Marquette basketball on the jump ball. A little shoulder fake. Boy, she has been aggressive here in the second half.
Yeah, she's looked smooth.
Fudd, and somewhat quiet. 4 points, 1 of 8 shooting. I mentioned that AZ Fudd was one of the reasons this was a tight game in Milwaukee between Marquette and UConn. And then you got into the fourth quarter and AZ Fudd took over. A period of time, that game included, she had 24 points in that game, but 3 games in a 4-game stretch where she had 20 or more points. Nova and Tennessee.
Even her, I mean, think about your freshman year. She had missed 11 games with that foot injury. She's another individual that was still continuing to really work and acclimate herself to this group, and that's why I talked about this earlier, but a lot of different lineups. AZ Fudd, though, in this one against Tennessee, number 7 at the time. This is really her coming out party.
Look at the 3-point stat, though. 7 of 9.
Look at how pretty that stroke is, though. You can see why. She's got a strength to her game. We continue to watch as she develops throughout the course of her career. It's going to be fun to see because of how she can score at all 3 levels.
Juhas, beautiful back door there for Williams. We've seen that play work time and time again here today.
Whether it's Juhas, whether it's Nelson Adota, Edwards passing off the top.
The luxury of this UConn staff, and you've mentioned it, defensively, right? The flexibility, versatility they have with their picks, but the offensive skill set that they have. McLaughlin with Juhas in her face.
And that's not easy. You shouldn't just assume, you know, that if you're running offense through a big off the elbow or at the top of the key that they have that type of touch on passes, timing. A lot of that comes from the cutting and the teammates and the spacing on the floor. But it's been impressive to watch how they're dropping dimes.
Juhas trying to hunt down another 3-point shot. She has found the connection from distance here today. It's her 3rd for your 3-point make. Meanwhile, Carlin will get a couple free throws here coming up.
Juhas been pulling out the variety pack. Look at that one-handed bounce. Beauty of a play to get Kristen Williams a bucket, and this time she keeps it herself from deep bottom.
Well, just a few more minutes left to play in this one. UConn with a considerable advantage over Marquette, and following this one at a 5:30 Eastern tip, it'll be Seton Hall and Villanova, the number 2 seed against the number 6 seed. This is what they did in the regular season. They split head-to-head, and it's been a minute since a couple of them have been in the Big East Tournament Championship. Nova won on December 31st by 3 points, and then back on February 13th, just a couple of weeks ago, was Villanova playing in, 5 games in about 10 days, and Seton Hall knocking off the Wildcats on that day. Carlin's first free throw makes here of the day. Just a formality about what this final is going to be. Number 1 seed came out looking impressive. It's professional kind of way of doing things offensively and defensively as Dorka Juhas whistled for kind of maybe a little hit check.
Well, this much, though. UConn came out, does what they do. They are surgical. They set the tone early. Give them credit for how they were aggressive out of the gates. Though Marquette has continued to battle, and they did a really nice job settling in, more so in that second quarter. They had a stronger start to the second half, and UConn is just a super challenging team, both with their skill set, with their physicality, and they're on a mission as well. But Marquette has fought and have hung around in this one, just not enough against a really, really talented Husky team.
Van Clunen and McLaughlin's final Big East touches here in these last few possessions. Carlin kind of leaning in, and the follow-up job from Murata. Gino Auriemma talking about his reserves, which today also includes Paige Beckers, which is so weird to say, to try to get this offense moving. Nika Mule, the only starter here for today in this rotation here right now. Van Clunen got a piece, so it'll be over the back call. We talk about a Lauren Van Clunen and the fact that she decided she's a graduate student in her 5th year. This is where she ranks with the team this season. First team all Big East selection, but she made a very, very important choice. And she said, I felt like there was some unfinished business. You know, you hear it from a lot of players. Last year was a COVID year, didn't get to play in front of fans in this building in particular. Van Clunen there with the turnaround. One of the reasons why she just wanted to have another chapter to her college career, and it's one of the reasons why she decided to come back.
To her college career, and also when we were talking to Megan Duffy before the game and asking about Liza Carlin and just how she's grown and developed and the really special play we've seen out of her, and in particular the latter part of the season we saw last night against DePaul. She said she's essentially followed Van Clunen, and she said watching how she prepares, how she approaches the game, what she does in practice, and that's why for as much as I'm sure Lauren Van Clunen and so many seniors, there's part of their own career, they want to continue to really cap things off in a way that feels like they've given everything they have. It's also about the give back to the younger players and what younger players see and how that helps them to grow and develop, you know, their type of work ethic and preparation that continues the legacy of a program. And I think Lauren Van Clunen, without a doubt, has a big one and a big impact and a big imprint on this Marquette Golden Eagles team.
And Kim Adams, you've watched Lauren Van Clunen throughout her career. What more can you add?
Yes, well, I actually spoke with Lauren this morning just about the impact that Marquette has had on her. She said, I never would have anticipated the impact it had. She said the pride and the family in this community. She said, I have a burning desire to make this place as great as possible. And she acknowledged both coaches, Carolyn Keeger, who brought her in, Megan Duffy, said they're both amazing. And something Coach Keeger said to her has stuck with her about leaving the jersey in a better place that you found it. And Lauren's plan, once the season ends, she would love to consider playing overseas, and then later has an interest in coaching and even a DOBO position, Director of Basketball Operations, Lisa.
We could definitely see that. 156 career games that she has played. That is a Marquette record. And we showed you her stats, the best stats of her career in the last year of her career. That's the way to go out. Beckers gets turned away and finds Duchamp for 3. Carlin with another rebound, gives it to King. Of course, Van Clunen and Carissa McLaughlin found that connection. And King gets fouled. McLaughlin really connected with Van Clunen, and she had to, right? They had to be two of the leaders here this year. Megan Duffy had said that, you know, Megan Duffy was an assistant under Kim Barnes-Arico at Michigan and tried to get Carissa McLaughlin to come to Michigan. She had originally verbally committed to Florida. There was a coaching change that was made, so she decided to play closer to home at Purdue, and when the door opened up, McLaughlin wanted a change of scenery for her final year.
And what a year she's had, what she's done for Marquette, but think about 3-time All Big Ten, the all-time leader for Purdue, and 3-pointers made. Big part of what this team has been able to do this year.
17-point advantage here for the UConn Huskies. In just a matter of seconds, they will officially punch their ticket once again into the championship game. Scoring has been spread around too, Sarah. I mean, you look at the UConn Huskies, a couple of players with 13 points. And Uhas and Williams, 11 points for Westbrook. It's not like someone busted out with a 20 or 30-point game.
And it depends on the perspective you have on it, but think about those that are scoring, putting up some big numbers.
Another one from Westbrook.
Included, now 14 on the day, but it's not even the individuals that in the big picture you anticipate to be your big time scorers. I mean, Becker's with 2 points, Fudd with 4 points, Nelson Adota with 8 points, but there's a lot of depth to this team now that they're whole and healthy. A lot to be optimistic about what they can do as they continue on this run.
And the crowd rises. A majority of UConn fans here at Mohegan Sun, as you would anticipate in the final few seconds. Gino Auriemma and the UConn Huskies are back in the Big East Championship title game. A 20-point victory over the Marquette Golden Eagles to sweep them here this year. It's the 3rd win against Marquette this season. And a salute to Carissa McLaughlin. Fine college career for her, and Lauren Van Clunen, Chloe Murata. These are the seniors and the graduate students listed on this Marquette Golden Eagle roster. They'll have maybe some decisions to make, and maybe a WNIT comes calling. They'll have to decide if they want to play in any postseason invitations. Let's check in now with Kim Adams, who's with Gino Auriemma.
Coach, I have to say I was pretty surprised when you complimented your defense at half, because I know you're usually pretty tough on your team. What do you like about how your group is growing on that end of the floor?
Well, we weren't as good in the second half defensively. I think our intensity level let down a little bit, and we had a little bit of a run, but I thought it just is a carryover from the other 4 games that we played, where we really get out to such a good start. We put a lot of pressure on the other team to have to score, and at this time of the year, when you have to score, it's sometimes it's a little more difficult than November and December.
And tomorrow you will compete for your 20th Big East Conference Championship. You've played in a lot of championship games. What is something that never gets old about getting ready for a championship game?
Well, usually it's, for me, that there's going to be how many freshmen we have? Three or four freshmen that they've never been in one before. So they don't care that I've been in 20 of them or won 20 of them. They just want to win their first. So if we can do that, then those guys are happy, and then you feel really good that you did something special for them.
All right, congratulations, Coach. We'll see you tomorrow in the finals.
Thank you.
All right, Lisa.
He's the only head coach in the country that can say, they don't care if I've won 20 of them or
20.
UConn is back, and you look at the tournament dominance of the scoring margin in the last couple of games. That's not a misprint, folks. That's UConn reality. And the defense is also reality as well.
And that's what makes them so special, because obviously you look at the potency of how many scores they have, what they can do with their balance in the weapons on that end of the floor, but so much of their offense is generated on how they get the job done on the defensive end. They are aggressive, they've got excellent athletes, and they'll come at you with bigs, with some quickness, and that's why as we look at the big picture of not just the Big East women's basketball tournament, but the NCAA tournament as it approaches, what this team will become now that they're finally healthy, back together, and their integration process continues.
And in a win, by the way, UConn putting up the 71 points, that's actually the fewest points in a game since they beat Providence and put up 69 points on January 30th. UConn has punched its ticket into the championship game. 71-51 is the final. Sarah and I will see you in just a little bit. In the meantime, our studio show will take it here from here. Coming up next at Seton Hall against Villanova. Thanks for watching so long. It'll be at the break. John Fanta and Kim Adams for FS1 College Hoops Extra.
Welcome to FS1 College Hoops Extra. Back here with you at Mohegan Sun. The Connecticut Huskies are marching on to a 30th consecutive conference tournament title game. Kristen Williams charging UConn to a 71-51 win over Marquette. Welcome courtside, everybody. I'm John Fanta. She is Kim Adams. The Huskies got off to a fast start and never looked back in this game. What stood out to you?
UConn looked like a team who is accustomed to winning at this time of year. We're going to talk to Kristen. I thought she got them off to a great start offensively, and then Gino's been looking for this team to improve defensively, and they certainly handled business on that end of the floor.
Taking a look at the bracket. So the Huskies will meet the winner of Villanova and Seton Hall. That is coming up next right here on FS1. So, the star of this game with 13 points today, 11 of them coming in the first half. Kristen Williams joining us. And Kristen, what was the key to getting off to such a fast start this afternoon?
You know, coach is always on me about being aggressive, and I just wanted to start off the game like that, and I just brought a lot of energy.
And this was a game where different players were stepping up at different points of the game. AZ was a little bit off tonight. What does that say about your team that so many different pieces can have a big night on any given day?
Yeah, I mean, that just shows our depth. We have a lot of girls that can do a lot of different things on the court at any time, and it's just going to help us in the long run. We can sub and not miss a beat, so that's just a really great thing for our team.
Gino Auriemma has talked about the fact that you are the key to this team being able to do things this time of year. You're the senior. How much do you relish the role of leading?
I mean, I've been trying to focus on leading the entire season, so nothing's really changed. You know, I'm just constantly trying to encourage my teammates and just be there and impact the game in any way that I can.
Second year back in the Big East, second year going back to the championship, but first with this field, the fans are back, you guys are in your home state. What excites you about getting ready to compete for that trophy tomorrow?
I mean, that's just one of our goals that we've had all year, and it's finally here tomorrow. So, you know, we're just taking it one day at a time, and we're going to get back at it today or tomorrow to be ready for the game.
Yeah. Today if you had to.
Right.
Kristen, we're walking around Mohegan Sun, and there's young girls all over the building, outside the arena, waiting to get in. There's little